Product Life Cycle by the Supply Chain Gang. Our textbook defines the product life cycle as the characterization of product growth, maturity, and decline over time. It is important to understand it because when goods and services change, so must the processes and value chains that create and deliver them, meaning the marketing strategies to pull sales and the supply chain that fulfills the demand. A product in the introductory stage requires more management than one in the growth and maturity stage. The traditional product life cycle consists of 4 phases: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline or turnaround. Consider the life cycle of some Apple products. In the introduction phase is Apple's latest innovation, the Apple Watch. At the introduction stage, the distribution of the watch is more narrow. You can't find it everywhere yet. For example, our Palm Desert Apple Store currently only carries about 4 different models available for immediate purchase, the lower-end sporty ones. In the introduction stage, there is little or no competition, but sales tend to be low as interest builds, and profits are low because of all the marketing money that went into the launch. Now let's look at Apple's latest iPhone model, the 6 or 6 Plus. This product model has been out for some time now. We can regard the iPhone 6 as being in the growth stage. At this stage, Apple has most likely regained its investment of developing the new iPhone model as it is now in the profit zone. Distribution for a product in the growth stage is much more widely available. You can walk into any Apple retail store and many other large retail locations like Best Buy and Target and find it on the shelves ready for purchase. At the maturity stage, we can find products like the older iPhone models, like the iPhone 5, that still works perfectly fine, is much cheaper to buy, but it's much less attractive. Growth in sales is not as rapid as it used to be, but it still maintains a competitive market share. Because the item is selling at a high volume, the cost to manufacture is low. In the decline stage is the iPod. While sales volume have gone down, the profit margins are still there, and so Apple still sells some models. Now we have the iPod Touch or iPod Shuffle. In fact, Apple's newer products have cannibalized the iPod. In marketing, product cannibalization is when a newer product line is introduced that actually takes sales away from the existing product. Think about the iPod. No one is buying it because the iPhone, even the really old models, do everything, plus more than the iPod does, and for not that much more money. From the introduction to the decline stage, Apple products have a very high demand relative to other products in the market. As the textbook notes, Apple has a responsive supply chain. This means Apple focuses on flexibility and responsive service and are able to react quickly to changing market demands and requirements. A responsive supply chain is necessary for Apple because demand is unpredictable. Its products' life cycles are short and change often because of product innovations, and fast response is the main competitive priority. In order to be responsive enough, real-time and accurate information must be shared between managers across the supply chain, and the information must be used to identify market changes and redirect resources to address these changes.
Created using Powtoon.